Today we are talking about sound, and I'm joined by someone who knows a little bit about that. Hi everyone, David G. back with another edition of Boating Industry Insider coming to you from IBEX. We are joined today by Jeremy Bale, the Senior Brand Manager for Kicker Marine Audio. Good to see you.
Hey, good to see you also.
Yeah, always enjoy that. You've just announced OEM direct sales channels are open. You launched a new high-end of products designed for premium marine performance, and now you're selling in some 20 countries worldwide, even more markets on deck. So let's start kind of with the big picture. Tell us about how things are going and you know, just about your continued growth. Yeah. I guess that's a story.
Well, I suppose it is. It's exciting to be in a spot in the environment that all we can talk about is complications with business world, right, and difficulties. That we're in a spot where I get to continue to say we're still growing. What a great thing to be able to come out and share with people. So we continue to grow. We're both growing domestically, aftermarket. We have a new focus on the OEM side of our business that we're going to be working towards in the new year. And internationally, we have a new focus there as well. Kind of started, I guess, towards the end of last year. It's been there for a while, but just kind of doubled down on it, if you will. So our international sales guys are getting a lot more active. I'm getting a little bit more involved, which is new for me. I've not done much work internationally, so that's fun and exciting. I got to go to a couple of the international boat shows. I'm headed out to Metz here pretty soon, and excited to see how we can just kind of keep pushing the pedal down and continuing that growth.
So you have brand in your title, and I know brand heritage is important, as well as new products and new markets and so on. Talk about how has the brand of Kicker Marine Audio evolved, iterated, grown? Talk about that.
There's a story. Of course, Kicker is known for car audio.
Yeah, right.
That's our bread and butter. That's what we've done. There's a story that we didn't start that intentionally, right? It's a bit of an accident, if you will. So we were a pro audio company building speakers for concert halls, big venues, things like that. A friend of Mr. Irby's said, I want one of those boxes that you build for the back of my truck. It needs to fit behind my seat. There's not a lot of room in trucks in the 70s and 80s. And that essentially started the whole thing. And the brand came from there. The Kicker came from there. We shifted our focus. The same thing kind of started with Marine when we moved into that. The same essential story happened where someone said, hey, we're starting to use these speakers in our boats, but they don't work very well.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't build them for that.
Yeah,
so of course they weren't working. They weren't lasting, right? They sounded amazing, but they weren't durable. So that same kind of brand idea is going to carry through everything that we do. As we expand, we continue to take the heritage of first, create great sound, second, put it in the best shell we can for the purpose that it's headed towards.
You talk about how different the operating environment is, water, moisture, things that we don't contend with in auto and power sports, but how is the marine audio customer different? Or are they, in terms of what they want from sound?
I think from what they want from sound, I don't think it's any different at all from what we're used to. We have very picky and discerning car audio customers. They want a very specific sound in their vehicles. A lot of those same customers are coming for power sports, and they're side-by-sides, for boats on the water, whatever. They're looking for the same thing. They want something that they haven't been able to produce, or that they have produced in their car, and now they want to reproduce it somewhere else. And that's really what they're looking for. So it works great for us, because what we're focused on is creating great sound. What we find is the customers that find us, they want that same thing. They want great sound.
Yeah. Let's talk about some of those products, the kind of the fun part. You've released now the M series, which represents a high-end true marine line. What's that sets that apart from your previous offerings, and is it designed for marine grade from the inside out? Talk about that.
Sure. Yeah. So real marine is the term that we use internally, right? That is the term that we started putting together back in 2006 when those folks said, hey, we're using these speakers. Let's do something that's really made for the environment that you want. So this is a bit of a white paper, if you will, that says there's best practices on how you should build product for the water environment. And this is what it looks like. It's what it should always look like. So no product will ever come out in the marine line that doesn't fit through that philosophy. That's just the beginning, right? From there, we have to make everything else work. We still have to create great sound. We still have to package it in something that looks good, because they also want things to look appealing and fit with their boat. But it really comes back to, let's start with the music, create that and then package around it the things that are necessary so that it will have the durability and the life that customer wants it to have on the water, so they don't have to really think about it again.
Yeah. So in terms of what sets it apart from your previous offerings, is there anything different? And maybe talk about we've already alluded to your growth. Is there like kind of a secret sauce behind that growth or behind those products?
Something that's secret sauce.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. With M-Class, we really went after the premium sound. So we have a full line of speakers already in the marine environment. It's great sound. It gives people that foundational element that they wanted in their music. But what we wanted to do was really tackle the high-end, really discerning customer. So the motors are different, right? I mean, everything that creates the sound is just upgraded. It's different. We use a product called Teteron in the tweeter, which is the best way I can describe it is a breathable fabric.
Oh,
right?
Nice.
Think a raincoat, a high-end raincoat that has some breathability to it.
Flex, yeah.
So it holds up so much better in the marine environment, but it still gives us a very, very high-quality sound. Add to that, once you've created a motor and engine that works such a higher efficiency, you then have to upgrade all the package around it, right? Or else it's not going to hold up. So glass-infused nylon, right, is something that helps us with the heat transfer. Carbon-infused fiber into the cone itself and the surround. Those are the types of things that help it hold up not only in the outdoor environment, but hold up to the extreme quality and more durability that it needs when you're playing at higher volumes, at higher efficiency. Those things, you just have to increase the package that comes along with it as well. Those are the types of things that have helped us with the M-Class over the KM line and really reach that kind of top-end luxury line.
Where would you say product innovation is being driven from? Is it from dealers? Is it from manufacturers? Is it from the end consumers? Is it aftermarket demand? Where does the drive for your product innovation come from?
Yeah, I mean, a little of all of it, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
you're
you're constantly talking to everybody in the pipeline to try to figure out what they're wanting, what do they need, what's coming down the road. And then of course our own team is out just what's happening in the marketplace outside of marine audio or car audio, what's going on in home audio, what's going on in the other areas, and then how does that relate back to what we're trying to do. So it is one of those stories. It would be nice if there's a nice clean answer for that, but it's really just a little bit of all of it.
Right.
And I think the way Kicker would generally approach this is if we're leaving any piece of it out, there's something we're going to be missing. So we're going to be doing our best to capture that information from each of those areas. What we hope happens the most, to be honest, is that customers are giving us feedback. Because they're the end users, they're the ones using it day to day. We're getting the most valuable feedback we can from them. Everybody else in the pipeline is talking about what they think they want, but the users know what they're using.
Yeah. In terms of the future emerging technologies that you're excited about, how are those shaping where marine audio is headed next? And can you talk about some things that you're excited about?
Yeah, it's certainly the more exciting things. I'm not in a position to be ready to talk about those yet. As far as the technology side, what I think shaping it the most is really just how things continue to work more and more together, right? How well can you integrate? Lighting is becoming a part of everything, right? So it's a part of the speakers, it's part of the seating. I mean, it's just everywhere, right? Everybody loves that look, and so lighting is one of those things, but it's just kind of back to the integration, is how well can you integrate it with other things. The other thing that we hear from customers is really down, I guess the aesthetics is the best way to phrase it. That they want the whole boat to kind of just fit and coordinate, and to have something, whatever it might be, that stands out beyond everything else, it's just not as appealing. So they're really looking for how does it fit in. Contrast is sometimes good. It's just got to be the right, the right fit for the boat that they're going to be on. Seamless
integrations, two words that you hear a lot here at IBEX. You're now you mentioned you didn't have much international experience. You're now in 20 countries and expanding. What's fueling the international growth? And is it different from the domestic market?
Sure. I guess COVID kind of did this to us a little bit, right? People spent more time outside, and that seems to be a lingering effect. And I think that's international as much as it is domestic. So what we see from our distributors and the folks helping us internationally is that their customers want a lot of the same things, which is a little bit more of the recreational side, right? People are spending more time on their boats, spending more time out with friends, and generally speaking, when you're going to do that in this environment, music helps pave the way to fun. And so that's really where we're coming at it. We just continue to build products that if you're out there on the water, great, have a good time, great, but when the music comes on, that seems to be where it really starts.
Yeah. Are there, along those lines of the market expansion, are there markets that have surprised you, places where you didn't expect to see such strong demand, or places that you didn't and haven't? Any surprises in that demand side?
Everywhere you go, people like their music. It's
yeah.
I mean, I'm going to say it's a worldwide thing. Everywhere I have gone, there hasn't really been a difference in that. People like to have their music. And the differences really, I would say, come through the approach that they might have. So whether they're looking for just a basic, I just need something, I'm on a fishing boat, I don't need a whole lot, but I still want it, right? And so that's a different solution than the individual that's out there on the towboat and 60 feet behind the boat, and they want to hear it, and they want everybody else to hear it as they come by.
Yeah.
It's a different solution, but the common denominator there is that everybody, they just like their music, and they want to hear it, and they want to share it.
It's part of the boating experience for many people. Marine audio certainly come a long ways from tinny speakers and tangled jumble spider webs of wiring. What's hot in the marine space right now, and what's starting to cool off? Are there kind of some emerging trends?
The marine environment, this audio is, I think, innovations come in a lot of industries. I guess they come in pretty small chunks, and then every now and then you get a big step forward. I think the electronic side is where we're seeing a lot of the movement right now. The amplifiers, you're going to see more integration, more opportunities to work with other parts, other electronics in the boat. The other thing that is interesting that I have found that's interesting is the different materials that are being used in the speaker cones or surrounds, the products themselves, to really enhance that durability. Durability is one of the hardest things in a marine environment.
Absolutely.
And we do so much testing back at headquarters on the types of materials and working with our manufacturers of, okay, what's available. That is something that I see is a really, it's not very exciting, it's not very glamorous, but it's something that's going to help our product last a lot longer on a boat, and therefore it's going to make a customer a lot happy over the life that they have it.
We don't need to recite the challenges facing the headwinds, facing the broader recreational boating industry. We talk about those: tariffs, interest rates, shaky consumer confidence, softening consumer demand. Yet rising inventory levels, as I've heard from many dealers. Yet you are in growth mode. How has the overall kind of, we'll call it soft, new boat market impacted you, and how have you overcome that to have growth even in a point when the industry as a whole is not growing?
Yeah. I wish I had a clean answer for that, because I'd keep repeating it and again and again. I just, I think what we tend to focus on, what we do focus on every day is what our strengths are.
Yeah.
And our strengths are creating durable products that sound amazing and putting them in front of people that are looking for that. And what we've seen in the past number of years, and specifically in the last maybe year and a half, 2 years, the aftermarket just continues to really be an amazing spot for us. Always doing great as well, right? But the aftermarket has seen a lot of growth. And I think a lot of that comes from people holding onto their boats longer, right? They're spending a little bit more time on what they have. Let's improve it, let's make it better, let's enjoy it a little longer than maybe we would have it before. And there certainly has to be some of that that's helping us, right, in the aftermarket side. So to have both of those parts of the company that continue to move as a division for Marine, I mean, to be able to have that growth, it's just extremely optimistic is the word that I would use for our look of the future. We continue to think that's going to grow, and in fact, we think that's going to increase over the next year or two.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things I hear, obviously, the repower market has done well. Again, people hanging on to boats. So my motor's kind of worn out. Let's refurbish that, get a new power plant in, and maybe redo the upholstery and the interior. And oh, by the way, we need to upgrade our sound system. So I'm not totally surprised to hear that the aftermarket space has been a good one for you. As we wrap up, again, let's kind of take a look ahead. You certainly are tied at the hip to the recreational boating industry, and consider that a very strong symbiotic relationship. Are you bullish on the future of the boating industry and your place in it?
Yeah, absolutely we are. Yeah. We're bullish on things outdoors. Right? Yeah. We see an environment that people want to spend more time outside. They want to spend more time with adventuring, right? Yeah. Whatever that might mean for them, right. But they want to look for experiences, and I don't know, the nature of who we are as people, it seems like music is what we want to drag along for our experiences. So whether that's with side-by-sides and that environment, motorcycles, the boating industry, we see a lot of potential and a lot of growth in our future.
Yeah, and there's a lot of ways to consume entertainment. We were talking, last night about all the myriad of subscription services and streaming and all the ways that you can access content, again, whether that be music or podcast or information. It's just, there's an amazing plethora of things to run through our speakers, isn't there?
That's right. That's right. And we tend to be people that either like to be challenged by the things we listen to or entertained by them.
Yeah, exactly.
And both of those, we can create some quality sound to help you do that. Yeah,
absolutely. A great note to end on. Thanks for coming along for the ride and talk about how Kicker Marine Audio is making waves in the boating industry. And as always, thank you for tuning in to Boating Industry Insider as well. I'm David G., your host as always. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe, and we will see you on the water. So long, everyone.